So first of all, I'd just like to say a big thank you to Emmy Rich. Go and follow her. She was amazing. She did a cheesecake this morning, and she started off the whole Haps dessert day. Let me just get rid of that on my phone. So welcome to England. I live in Leeds, in the north of England. I like to say it's one of the best cities in the world. I think it is. But anyway, we're doing today. I live in Yorkshire, and Yorkshire is very, very famous for one type of food, and this is what I'm going to be using today. Now we're going to do a bit of a quiz in regards to rhubarb. This is rhubarb, and this has been grown in a greenhouse in Huddersfield. Although where I live, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It says Morley. Morley is famous for rhubarb, everybody. Now this rhubarb was frozen. It's been chopped. It's been put in the fridge. It's been frozen. I put it in the fridge overnight, and there's a lot of juices that have come off because rhubarb is very heavily. There's lots of water in rhubarb. Okay. Now I've got some really good questions for you later. I'm not going to spoil it just yet. So what you need to do first of all is I'm just going to drain off some of these some of the rhubarb juices. You might want to save the rhubarb juices if you want, but because this is going into the oven, and that's the first thing I want to do is put the rhubarb into the oven in an oven-proof dish. Hello, Alexis. Rhubarb is so hard to work with. I know. Do you know something? This is the first time I've ever cooked anything with rhubarb, so it should be very interesting. But yeah, I've got some questions for you later about rhubarb. Hello, Anne. Hello, Jay. Lovely to see you all. Hello, Blueberry. Remember to follow everybody. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Follow each other and share this broadcast if you can. As I say, a big thank you to Emmy for kicking off the dessert Saturday, which is amazing. So as I say, I took the rhubarb out and I put it in the fridge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up a little bit smaller. I've already cut up, I think it was 4 apples. Can you see that? 4 Granny Smith apples, and I've just put them into little chunks so they're all ready. Okay, and we're going to start by just chopping up this rhubarb. I'm going to bring you down, okay, and so you can see, just to make it a little bit smaller. And in total, you want 450 grams of rhubarb. So just to let you all know, I'm doing a rhubarb and apple crumble. So the rhubarb needs to go in the oven for 10 minutes with the apples and some other things as well. And then we're going to do the crumble on the top. And then we're going to do some custard, and all that should be done within an hour. Hopefully, this is where I need to get cracking. Okay, so I'm going to bring you down because it goes in the oven for about 40 minutes. So we're going to do a bit of a quiz while we do that. Now, I've got some questions, and you'll see in a moment. This is rhubarb, everybody. It comes in 2 different, there's like green rhubarb, the pink rhubarb. Rhubarb is so delicious with custard, everybody. It's actually grown in Morley. It's grown in the Yorkshire Triangle, where I currently live. So if you're all wondering why I chose rhubarb, is because we grow the stuff, and there's people in Morley, where I live, who actually have this growing in their garden naturally. So it's a natural product. Okay, I've got the questions for you. So let's get this cut up first of all. I'll show you how it looks this is like raw. Okay, it's very similar to celery. If you're all wondering what rhubarb is. Maybe you've never had rhubarb before, but we're just going to cut them up into the same piece sizes, 3 centimetre chunks. Oops. And then we're going to get this in the oven. It needs to roast for 10 minutes, okay? So whilst we're doing that, I've got some questions for you. So you see how there's lots of water in here? I would cut it up actually frozen. So when you actually get it fresh, cut it up first. I'm just cutting these into smaller pieces because I wanted to show you, live how it looks. Can you all see that? How's the connection, everybody? Is it good? Hopefully it's good. Can I just say big thank you to Alexis for organising this. We did the soup challenge, which was really, really good. So yeah, there's the rhubarb. You see, some of it's pink and some of it's green. Okay, hopefully you can all see that. Okay, so this is going to go in with the apples. So let's put all this in. And we're going to roast these down. And the reason I've got rid of the water, the juice, is because they contain a lot of water. Okay? So there you go. There's the rhubarb and the apple. I'm just going to check that there is anything else to add. So so the first step is you're going to put the oven on. You want 200 degrees Celsius, 200 degrees Celsius, or 180 degrees fan. Gas mark 6. Let me turn my oven down because it has been on 10 minutes. We put the rhubarb apples. We're going to put some vanilla and the sugar. So you want, let me just check this, 120 grams of caster sugar. 120 grams of caster sugar, which I have here already prepared. So this is going to go over. We're going to add all this in, you see, just like that. I did tell you there'd be a lot of sugar today. We're going to toss it all together. Behave, everybody. Okay, we're going to add some vanilla, one teaspoon of vanilla extract. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So let's add this in. So how's everybody doing today? Are we well? Let's add that in. So just drizzle that over. Don't want loads. Let me put the lid back on. And we're going to give this a stir. So we've got the sugar, we've got all the apples in there, and we've got the rhubarb. She was amazing, wasn't she? Emmy, you're amazing. That track was amazing. So if anybody, I can't get words out today. Go and follow Emmy Rich, and go and watch her first broadcast. When you know after you've watched everybody else's today. So we're just mixing all that in, okay? So we've got the vanilla extract, we've got the apples, and we've got the rhubarb, and this is going straight in. 1 second, everyone. Get all that sugar inside. Put it into an oven-proof dish. Some people like to put foil over the top, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it on a middle shelf and let that roast. So let's pop that in, okay? And roast that for 10 minutes. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is in fact, let me do the questions now. We're going to do some questions, okay? So I'm going to lift you up. So if you've never had rhubarb before, I've got a few questions for you, okay? Ada needs to buy a spray bottle for liquids. It works better than measuring. I know which ones you mean. Yes, that is a good point. That is a very good point. So hello, everybody. So with rhubarb, it is grown in. You can grow it in your garden, or it can grow naturally. Where I live, rhubarb is grown here, everywhere in the rhubarb triangle. But your first question I've got for you is, I want to know, is rhubarb, is it a fruit or is it a vegetable? Is it a fruit or is it a vegetable, guys? Pop your comments in the box below. This is what I like to do. I do quizzes and I like to do cooking things as well. And hopefully you'll learn something as well new today. So is rhubarb a fruit or is it a vegetable? Jay's saying fruit, Ken's saying vegetable. Melissa says hello to Anne. Alexis is saying vegetable. Is everybody sure with your answers? Anne's also saying a vegetable. There's a piece of rhubarb here that's just fallen out. Let's put that in. Don't waste any of it. I can tell you it is a vegetable. So yes, it is a vegetable. But in a year, particular year, it was reclassified as a fruit. But what year was it reclassified as a fruit, believe it or not? So there's always been this debate between rhubarb. Is it a vegetable or is it a fruit? Now, you probably all know that based around food is if something has seeds in it, it tends to be a fruit. Is that right? I'm just trying to think. Yeah, if it's got seeds in it, it tends to be a fruit. If it doesn't have seeds or it's grown, fruit in the ground, then it tends to be a vegetable. But what year was it reclassified as a fruit? And for what reason was it changed to reclassified as a fruit? I don't think anyone's going to know this one. It was actually in 1947 reclassified as a fruit, and this was to lower the tariffs, which are taxes basically between countries, to make it less costly. So it's to make it more affordable. Okay, got another question for you. Rhubarb has leaves, but can you eat the leaves? Yes or no? Rhubarb has leaves. Can you eat the leaves? Yes or no? There's only ever one answer to this, and Anne, yes, is correct. Very, very important. Do not ever eat rhubarb leaves. Ever, never, ever. And the reason why is because they are poisonous. Okay, so blueberry, you should never, ever, ever eat leaves, rhubarb leaves. Okay, they contain oxalic acid. Okay, so don't ever, ever eat the leaves. And question number 5, of my list on here, which season do we eat rhubarb? Simple as, which season do we eat rhubarb? That's a pretty easy question for you, everyone. Which season do we eat rhubarb? Jay's saying summer. Anne's saying summer. The actual answer is spring. So it's between spring and summer. Okay, so it must be, yeah. I actually never knew the time of when rhubarb was growing, grown. But we're in spring now, but we're in the early mist of spring. So this is an early, really the earliest point you can actually get rhubarb. So this rhubarb that I'm using today was grown in a greenhouse, and I think it's from this season. I'm certain it's from this season, but it was from had been. You can put it in the freezer, so it possibly could have been from last season, but I'm certain it's this season. Okay, because I got it from my partner's mother. Okay, so I'll say it like that. My rabbit isn't ready at all yet, and we had snow last night. Yes, well, there's another question I'm coming up for you with rhubarb. Okay, so how many types of rhubarb are there? How many types of rhubarb are there? How many types? This answers your question, Anne, in a strange way. I'm just going to get my bowl ready. We're going to start to do the crumble in a second, okay? So Anne's saying 3 or 4. Okay, the answer, well, from what I gathered, is there's 2 different types of rhubarb, just 2. So you've got your traditional rhubarb, which are really big, thick stalks, okay? Big, wide stalks. And the second one is, you can get a thinner stalk. And the thinner stalks are the ones that are actually what's the word I'm looking for? They're grown in heated greenhouses. Okay, so these are obviously, you have to block out the light, the natural light, and they're grown in like a greenhouse. But these are heated greenhouses, ones with the light that shines on them. So that's why you get like a different type of rhubarb. And I was thinking, so if you're buying rhubarb at the early point of spring, then chances are it's being grown in what's called a hot house. Okay, and exactly, yeah. That's my next question. Anne knows her stuff because you've got a greenhouse, haven't you, Anne? I remember you saying. Okay, so your next question then. Yeah, that's what I've answered my question here. Yeah. So the first rhubarb of the season is harvested using what's called candlelight, what's also called a forcing shed, and all of the light is excluded. It produces a sweeter, more tender stalk. If it's green, like I showed you earlier on, if it's green, it's more mellow. And obviously they taste better as well. So now I've got another question for you. I think I missed this one out. Okay, what are the 3 benefits of eating rhubarb? Okay, what are the three benefits of eating rhubarb? So Anne says, I've put a bucket over my rhubarb. It's not in the greenhouse. Is that, yeah. So yeah, cover the light, stop any natural light from coming into the rhubarb. Eyesight, says Blue. Okay, I'm looking for 3 sort of benefits of rhubarb. Okay, I'm going to tell you the answer. It's high in fibre. That's your first thing. High in calcium. So that will be probably most likely good for your eyesight and your bones and your skin. And it's also high in vitamin C, or you guys in America like to say vitamin C. Okay, so vitamin C, calcium, and fibre. And it's also high in antioxidants as well, which are good for your overall nutrition. Okay, and that's pretty much it, I think. Just another little fact for you. When you cut rhubarb fresh, it lasts up to 2 weeks. Okay, out of the so if it's not in a fridge or or frozen. Yep, anti-cancer properties as well, Anne. Thank you for that. Also, yeah, so whenever you're getting rhubarb, rinse it. You want to trim it, chop it, similar to celery. You could peel the skin off of rhubarb, but the skin contains lots of fibres and antioxidants. And also it works well with sugar and berries. Okay, so now if you wanted to do it savoury and use rhubarb, a little fact for you, it works really well with chicken, works well with pork and lentils. You could make a rhubarb chutney. Maybe that's something I should start doing. Who would be interested in buying some actual Yorkshire chutney from myself? Who knows what could happen in the future. It works well with berries, apple, which we're doing apples, cinnamon and ginger. Now, I should have mentioned then as well, when you're doing the this recipe, you can actually add ginger for the topping, but we're not going to use ginger, okay? So, oh, and that sounds delightful. I bet that would be nice with them scones that we made. Do you remember the scones? Okay, so let's do the crumble. Now, it says here, because we've put the rhubarb, apples, vanilla and sugar in an oven-proof dish, roasted it for 10 minutes. So it's probably been in longer than that now. We're just going to give it an extra 5 minutes. We're going to make let's make the topping. Okay, so let me spin you round. I'm going to bring you back down. Hopefully you enjoyed them facts. Okay, so we're going to do this. Now, once I've made this and this goes on the top, it's going to take about 45 minutes to do. Okay, so let's get cracking. So we're going to mix in the flour and the ginger. So you want some flour. Okay, so the amount of flour you need is 200 grams of plain flour. So 200 grams of plain flour. And then we're going to add, if you put it in ginger, you can add some ginger in at this point. 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, which is optional. We're going to rub in butter now. Now, this is one thing I haven't prepared yet, because you want salted butter. So this is British butter that I'm using. So you want to pop these into chunks, because this is where we're going to at least get my scales out. Here we go. I'm just going to quickly measure this, because that was the last thing I took out of the fridge. Get yourself some weighing scales, everybody. If you don't have any, definitely worth buying. Alexis sells them, I think. So get in touch with Alexis if you want anything. And so you want 100 grams of chopped butter. So it's got to be salted for this recipe. And you want cold butter. This has been out of the fridge for about 20 minutes since I came on live. I don't know the difference why, but so you want, did I say 100? I think I said 100, didn't I? I can smell the rhubarb. It smells, oh my gosh, it's one of the best smells ever. Rhubarb is amazing in absolutely anything. I think a lot of people have started drinking rhubarb gin. So just cut these into chunks, 100 grams. Oops, nearly there. So I think Alexis is up next. Alexis, what are you making? I think I've asked you that before, haven't I? With Alexis tells me a recipe and then she might change it. She's here. Do you want me to invite you on? Okay, I'm just going to turn off. So we've got 100 grams of salted British butter. Okay, so we're going to rub it in to make chunky bread, and then we're going to add some sugar, and we're going to add a different type of sugar. Okay, so add the butter in with the flour. I'm really happy so far that the connection is staying stable. Okay, so we're going to rub this in with our fingers. So we're going to make our crumble. So this is a bit of a job, but I find that actually working the mixture in with your hands is a lot better than sometimes using a machine. Don't get me wrong, using a machine is still good, but you can't beat the old-fashioned ways, can you? So we're just going to mix this in, rub this in with your fingers. Okay, does anybody have any questions at all? Either about rhubarb or, I highly recommend Yorkshire rhubarb, obviously, because it's grown here. It's used everywhere around the world. Some of the if you see rhubarb on a menu, chances are probably 90% it's come from here. So I thought when I heard about dessert day, I thought I wanted to do rhubarb for a long time. I think today's the perfect time to do it. So oh, you're doing the Dutch baby pancakes, yeah. Okay, just give all that a mix. So as I say, this is salted butter, and it's plain flour I'm using, just plain flour. And then the sugar that we're going to add, this is okay. There's a difference. We're going to be adding in some brown sugar, but it's light brown sugar. And the reason I'm using light brown sugar instead of dark brown sugar, which there is a difference, is to do with something called molasses. And the molasses in the sugar give it a much more that caramel flavour. So a light brown sugar is what you need for an apple crumble. I'm hoping actually that with the apples being in the oven roasting away right now for 10 minutes, we'll actually speed up this recipe a little bit. But it's the crumble that's going to take the longest. So I did suggest coming into Alexis's scope and showing you all possibly, but I think we'd be okay, as I said. But we're gonna do well. I'm using instant custard. I should have really made proper custard fresh, but I thought that might just take too much time. It's 4:20 in Arizona. Oh my word! You're up early. Get your coffee. Do you know I've had no coffee this morning? No coffee at all. Yeah, I want to use rhubarb again. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more food with rhubarb. So we're just making breadcrumbs, like a breadcrumb consistency, till all that butter's rubbed in. Although it will melt anyway in the oven. So it's all right, Jay. Don't worry about it. I love, it's weird because when I was growing up, my mum's friend actually used to grow rhubarb, and my mum used to bring home rhubarb, boil it all down. Can't remember what she made with it. Maybe an apple, maybe a rhubarb pie. And yeah, because it's just grown so much here. But I don't really see it that much anymore. You can see it in the supermarkets, but maybe it's a good thing that it's not seen so much, because it means it's being sold to, the world. So you can easily get some. Change of plan, says Anne. How do you mean, Anne? So just mixing this in. This is what we do when we make scones. Okay, so this is the crumble part. I think that's all right so far. I do like to rub all the butter into the mixture. Just get all that flour underneath. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, let's wash my hands a bit. How are we doing for time, everyone? Oh, we're 20 minutes in. That's not too bad. I need to pop this in immediately. Otherwise, we will go over time. Okay, so we're going to add in next the sugar. So rub in the butter with your fingertips to create chunky breadcrumb texture. Stir through the sugar and sprinkle the topping onto the fruit and cook for a further 30 to 35 minutes. So let's add in this sugar. Then this is light brown sugar. So I'm going to mix all that in. Get a spoon. 1 second. I did have things ready, and it's in the sink. That's why. So just mix all this in. So remember, it's light brown sugar you're using. Sorry, let me check some of the comments. Shout out. Oh, you're not going to your parents? Okay. I mean, you can watch us. Okay, so we mix all that in. Let's get this fruit out of the oven, which has been roasting. It smells absolutely delicious. Okay. Now, what I'll possibly do with the rhubarb is if it's hard rhubarb and you're putting it into the oven and you're roasting it, all the juices will still be there. So maybe don't put it in the fridge. So I do these things. So as I say, I've never made this before. So just give all that a stir. There are some juices. Remember, juices come out of the apples as well. So just stirring this around. You see the rhubarb there? This is roasted rhubarb. It smells, oh my god, it smells so nice. It takes me back to when I was a kid and the smell of rhubarb. Okay, so we're going to add the crumble now on the top. Okay, so it just says stir fruit sugar, sprinkle crumble on the top, cook for a further 35 minutes. So we're going to add the crumble on the top. There you go. This is just the flour mixture. Can you all see that? And we're going to put it all over it. This is what makes the crumble. Bit of hard sugar there. Lots of sugar in this though, that's the only problem. So we're covering it over, getting the size. We'll use a spoon in a second. There you go. And when we're going to do the custard next, then we're going to do the custard. So just move all that round, and then it'll come out the oven when it's turned brown. I have not made this in years. I used to do an apple crumble, but I've never made a rhubarb crumble. Okay, so that's that. So it goes straight in the oven again, and it's going to stay in for 30 minutes. Okay? Love a crumble, yeah. So we'll pop that in again, 180 degrees Celsius. Okay? So let's do, what should we do now? I'm going to bring the camera up. Okay, fingers crossed. Hello, Caroline, lovely to see you. So we've just popped in the crumble into the oven. So if anyone's got any questions at all, then now's your time to ask any questions, and I shall try my best to answer them. Okay, let me see who's on next. Oh, sorry, Alexis is on next. Okay, so and then we're going to do the custard. So I'm going to show you the custard that we're making. So this is just instant custard. So this is a brand called Bird's, and as you can see at the bottom, this is approved by Her Majesty herself. Okay, Belle says I would have added some oatmeal to the crumble since it produced so much juice. Yes, you can do. You could also add some. I think some people said you could add granola to it, and any sort of topping that you like. That's as healthy as possible. Yeah, Alexis is up next. This is instant custard. It's a low-fat version, and what we're going to do is we're going to add it to a large measuring jug. And we're going to pour in boiling water up to 3/4 of a pint, 425 ml, and then whisk vigorously until smooth and creamy, ensuring all the powder and the bottom is mixed in, and then stand for 1 minute. Okay, so it's not going to take too long for this. Okay, I'm just going to check my sheet just to check there's nothing else on here that I wanted to tell you. But yeah, I think it will be really, really good to make rhubarb, maybe like a rhubarb jam or something. I'm just reading that about Anne. Yes, thankfully next week our hairdressers are opening as well on Monday, and the non-essential shops and pubs are reopening, but just for outside dining. So I can't wait for us to sort of get back to some normality as best we can anyway. Is that Anne's taking her son for a COVID test. Best of luck, Anne. I'm sure it'll be fine. But you've got to take these these tests to be on the safe side. So has anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions at all? And I'll try my best. I didn't put the list on my iPad. Okay. Do you need a negative test for a haircut? No. I think we're fine to go in as long as we're wearing a mask, and as long as the staff are wearing masks as well. I think we should be okay. Let's have a look. I'm trying to read some of the comments. Thanks, Sam, for the high five award. Oops. Sorry, I'm just moving the camera a bit there, aren't I? Hello, Jessie. Jessie's watching in Adelaide in South Australia. How's the weather there? I bet it's quite warm. Is it? I always think Australia's warm, but I know different parts of Australia have different climates, don't they? Like in the south, it's quite cold and dry, I think, and then in the north, you get more wet weather. Nice to see you building on. Yep, says Matt to Alexis. I make strawberry and rhubarb. Yep, strawberry and rhubarb jam. That sounds so nice. I think I've gone through all the points. So when do we have to be over for the crumble? Oh, Anne, you can come around anytime you like. Anytime. Hello, Melanie. Lovely to see you. What's going on with the passing of the Duke? Oh, it's all over TV. Obviously, it's on every single news channel. I was doing the word search and the quiz yesterday morning, and it was Melanie that told me about it. So, I went straight onto their website. I heard a little bit more about it this morning. But they're obviously keeping they're not giving out too much information yet, but they're sort of going through formalities, I guess, of when his funeral will be, and so my thoughts are with Her Majesty as well. It's never somebody I'm ever going to meet in my life, unless I did something exceptional in which I was honoured, for my service. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's somebody. Imagine your mother and your father, if they've been married together for such a long time. It's not just, it's the whole family, isn't it? It's not just, they are people at the end of the day. That's what I'm trying to say, is they are real human beings, and they do have feelings, even though they are the royal family. You think of this huge institution, they are, at the end of the day, real people, with real emotions. So, but yeah, I think we'll know over the next couple of days what's happening with the funeral and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's all happening, isn't it? So right, I'm just going to keep an eye on the time. So obviously this rhubarb crumble won't be cooked. It possibly might be done 5 minutes before the end. So I'm going to start to get the custard ready, okay? Because the custard. So you're going to need, as I say, for the custard, a measuring jug, a whisk and a fork, 360 ml of boiling water. So it's very simple, it's custard, although I would love to make it fresh properly. Have you just started or are you just finishing? We're halfway through, Melanie. So halfway through. So we've done the. It's quite easy, really. Rhubarb and the apples. They've gone into they're in the oven for 10 minutes roasting. Then we made the topping on the flour, the sugar, and the butter, and then we've added we put that in the oven. That's now roasting. That's now cooking in the oven, and now we're going to do the custard to go on the top. That is a staple in British desserts. Is custard. You come to England, you have custard. I was tempted to make another dish though. I might get shut down for saying this. Have you ever had a spotted dick before? And everyone's like thinking, what on earth is that? Don't shut me down for saying the word. But yeah, there's a dessert called a spotted dick, and I can't remember what it is exactly. But Melanie, you might be able to tell me what it is if you've had it. I've not had it for a long time. Yeah, but it's like one of those school. It reminds you of being back at school, doesn't it? And all the puddings and the desserts. It's like when I heard about dessert day, I was like, yeah, we've got to do a proper British dessert. Puddings. We call them puddings here. Don't we, Melanie? Hello, Jess. Lovely to see you. Jess is an amazing broadcaster as well, everybody. Go and follow Jess. Although I think, Jess, you should be doing French lessons. I think you should be teaching us French lessons. I would love to see that, and I will be up for that if you we could do lessons every week. Lots of people would join. Jess would be brilliant at that. Jess is a teacher anyway, I think. So, yeah, I'd love Jess. Teach us French, please. Bonjour, ça va, merci beaucoup. That's all I know. Je m'appelle Aidan, et toi? Or you can say in Spanish. Or je voudrais un chocolat chaud, s'il vous plaît. Bonjour, je m'appelle Aidan. How's my accent? Puddings and desserts are different. Puddings are usually hot desserts, and then they're usually cold. Although I'd say something, Melanie. I love apple pie. I love hot apple pie with ice cream, and you think you're warming something up like hot apple pie. Vous êtes très gentil. With so I was talking about apple pie. So hot apple pie with cold ice cream. You could have this with ice cream if you wanted to. So. Right, let's do the custard. So the kettle is boiled. You can just reheat custard, I think. So we're going to be using this, as I say. This is instant low-fat custard, and it goes straight into a measuring jug. So I've got a glass measuring jug. Where's it gone? You can actually put it into a saucepan, and my mum used to put it into a saucepan and then stir it, very similar to gravy granules. But I like to just put it into a jug and just mix it. So, are we ready to make the custard, everybody? Are we ready to do the custard? The British way of doing custard. If we're ready, guys, let me bring you down. Oh, thank you, Jess. Thank you so much. So we're going to take the custard then. This is 75 grams. And we're going to pop this into a jug. Just like this. It's very, very simple. Let me know if you can get this where you live. I can smell this already. Did you buy some, man? You got some? Are you going to try this recipe? You're going to give this recipe a try? I should say where I got this recipe from, actually. I got it from the BBC. So this is a BBC recipe. They have so many great recipes, by the way, on there. So, and they have an app. You can go and download the BBC Food app. I think you have to have an account, but I think you can have an account anyway. But I'll just go onto Google and search for BBC food recipes. So that is our custard powder. We're going to add in 360 millilitres to bring it up to a 425 millilitre or 3/4 of a pint level. So let's pop this in. So, as I say, 425, which is just going to go over the top. So let's add this of water. There we go. And then we're going to give this a stir, or use a whisk or a fork. Let's use a whisk. Can you all see that, everybody? Use a whisk or a fork, and this is making the custard. And this is going to go over the top of the crumble when we eat it. Now, if you want to warm this up, I'll just put it into a saucepan and then warm it up over the stove. So you're getting all the lumpy bits out. I think a fork's better than a whisk. It says here as well, for slightly thicker custard, add more boiling water. So if you want it thicker, add more boiling water, okay? I might add a bit more. Let me get a fork. That's not working very well. Oh, this smells so nice, everybody. Oh, my word. Look at the custard. Oh, some people will just sit and just eat the whole stuff. Yeah, get all the powders at the bottom, you see. I didn't get that with the whisk. I wish you could smell this right now, everybody. It smells amazing. Hello, Emmy. How are you doing? Well done on your first broadcast cooking for today. You did amazing. And I might say your track is amazing. I'm actually a dancer, and I do choreography as well for the line dance world, which is huge, by the way. You might not think it is, but it is huge, especially in Sweden and Denmark and all over Europe, across there. I would love to write a dance to your track, and you'll get lots of people hopefully downloading it. So do let me know. I'll try and get this on, and I will write a dance to it. I think there's a line dance group on my Facebook in Sweden with about 20,000 people in there. So we'll sort something out. Oh, look at this custard. This is proper custard. Look at this, guys. Let me get a spoon to properly show you it. That's what you come here to see. Look at this, everyone. This is custard. Look at that. Yeah, use a spoon. I think the spoon's better. We've still actually got 20 minutes left, but I wanted to show you this earlier. Oh my word. Let me check on the crumble. Check its check how it's doing. Because it needs to be a brown colour, like light brown colour on the top. Oh yeah, that's looking good now. So I put it on like a middle shelf rather than the top shelf. So yeah, that's the custard, everybody. Let me lift you back up. Okay. You want to make custard now? Look at my hair. So this is the custard, everyone. So it's that simple to make. Okay. Thank you, Emmy. Thank you. Yeah, don't worry. I will sort something out. You have another song that'll be perfect. I'm trying to look for. We like tracks now that are not like country music. So try not to think when people think of line dance, they do think of country music and anything that's got a fast beat to it. But we do now a lot more soulful dances and things like that because we like to express ourselves with our hands and our arms, and I could fit something to that. But your track that you play would be perfect. So, but we're always up. Me and Caroline will do a dance to it. Caroline, if you're watching, what do you think? We'll do a dance to it. Okay. This custard smells amazing. Right, I'm going to put it in a saucepan though, so we can actually just heat it up, because I might have done it a little bit too early. Don't worry though. Don't worry. This is why I'm showing you that whenever you make stuff, I can just add a little bit more water to it. Although it's quite thick anyway, so do it in a jug. Make it up. Sometimes the actual best food, that sounds a bit crazy, but actually are when they've actually been heated up. Do you like curries and things? Whenever you do a curry and you eat it the next day, or pizza, cold pizza, oh my word. Do you ever find that though? Food always tastes better when it's had time to marinate. So the custard's ready, everybody. We'll just need to heat that up. Okay. Get rid of the sachet. So if you want to get that custard, this is Bird's, and I'm sure you can pick it up in your local store. Blue says, do I like Irish music? I do like Irish music, yeah. It depends on the track. We did actually a St. Patrick's Day. I did a bit of like a music set on St. Patrick's Day because it was the last time on Periscope. So that was really, really good. And I was just sat here in the kitchen. We were having some beers and drinks and things. It was really nice. It was good. I got a little bit too drunk though. And me and Alexis, when I did the St. Patrick's Day quiz, that was good. If you've not watched that, go and watch that back, because that was really funny, wasn't it, Alexis, when we did that? It was fun. It was fun. And that's what live streaming should be about. Enjoy yourselves on here. Don't feel like it's a chore. Just be yourself. You're here for a reason. Just embrace it and just enjoy it and be positive and happy, and that's and then everything is fine. So, and I can't wait for the next challenge as well. They don't, do they, Melanie? It was good though. What was I going to say? I always lose my trail of thought though sometimes. The next thing we're doing, I think Alexa's mentioned it, is is salads. So my next one I'm thinking about doing is Santa Fe salads. So I'm going to do a Santa Fe salad, and it's by Simply Cook, which is this subscription box service you can get in the UK. And they send you the boxes, and you get the recipe cards, and then their flavour pots is what they send you. You put them with the food that you should have in your cupboards, that sort of thing, and meats that you would normally buy in a supermarket. And that's what I do on Haps, and I've done it on Periscope, is some of the subscription boxes and things. So if you're in the UK and you want to get a discounted box, everything's in my link tree. Okay, so just go there. Emmy, do you have a link tree where I can get to, so get your song? Melanie says, Alexa, put me down for a Greek salad same time, please. See, we're taking orders for next time. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing next time. So yeah, so it's all positive. I think we should start thinking about the next one, and that will probably be in May, I reckon. So middle of May, will it? Middle of May. So right, how are we doing for time? This is the only problem when you're cooking desserts, is the desserts. I remember being at school, and we had an hour. An hour was the slot, and I think we tried to do it so that the hour we had before our lunch, we ended up so you could have your lunch when you were cooking, so it'd give you more time to cook. So I think I think it's great trying to get everything within an hour, but some things like dessert and things like cakes and things, they don't take an hour. They take a lot longer, don't they? So we're going to have fun when we do bread. That's all I'm going to say. We'll have to do do like an early broadcast and then do the bread. I don't know, or pastry week or something. But yeah, I'm definitely up for. I think it's just a great idea. So well done, Alexis. You'll be getting some awards when I come into your broadcast. Okay, so that's the custard. The crumble's in the oven. I want to taste it so bad, but I don't want to taste it when it's raw. So maybe you could add some cinnamon into that as well. Some cinnamon would be nice. And add some ginger. But I didn't have any ginger, so... So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Just waiting for it to all cook and come together. Shall we have some coffee, everybody? Shall we have some coffee? Let me put some coffee on. Who would like a coffee? Anybody would like a coffee? I'll make a quick coffee, and then I'll be able to. I'll take it out just before 1 o'clock here, which is in. We've got 10 minutes. Anne would like a cup of tea. Alexis wants a coffee. Melanie wants a turmeric latte. I've got some turmeric in there. Cappuccino. I'm just wondering, should I do some Costa? Let's have some Costa, shall we? Let's put Costa on the map today. In fact, so I should show you, right. So this is why we're doing Yorkshire. Look. This is where I live in Yorkshire, and we're in the north of England, the biggest county in the UK, well, in England, bigger than London, I should say. And this is our White Rose. We have our actual own Yorkshire Day, which is on the 1st of August every year. So this is the Yorkshire Rose, and if you see on this map, so this is Leeds. This is Leeds, where I live. They are currently playing Manchester City, I should say, and I don't know what the score is. So if anybody knows the score, we're probably losing, but we did draw against them in the football when we played them at the beginning of the season. So there's Leeds. Now, a lot of people say they've heard about Betty's Cafe, where they do all the cakes and all the... I do drink Yorkshire tea, Anne, I do. We've got Scarborough on the coast, which is an amazing coastal place. Bridlington, I went there last year. We've got Whitby at the top, famous for Dracula, and the Whitby Abbey. Okay. We've got Ripon and Richmond. We've got the Ribblehead. The Ribblehead, very, very popular. You've known. Can you see that? The Ribblehead Viaduct, famous in Harry Potter. Although the Betty's in York is actually closing, so you'll only be able to go to the Harrogate one. And then further down, then we've got Bradford and Halifax. This is the Rhubard Triangle here, which is between Leeds, Wakefield, and sort of like Huddersfield, Halifax area. And where I live is Morley. So I'm right down here in the west. I live in West Yorkshire. but in South Leeds. So I'm right down here. And the difference between the bottom South Yorkshire and North Yorkshire, I think it's about 100 miles. So you can see the radius, how big Yorkshire actually is as a county. So yeah, and there's lots of famous people from Yorkshire. Jess is saying, yes, it's you, Aiden, it's you. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to make some Costa coffee instead. So let me get this quickly. Will I have enough time? I think I've got enough time. So with Costa coffee, we're doing everything in this scope, aren't we? I'm going to bring you back down. So we've got some Costa coffee here as well. This is British coffee. Okay. Oh, actually, is this broken? I don't know. Oh, and it's come off. Might not be able to do this. The reason I'm making this is because my other coffee machine's not working. So, oh no, it's come off. I can't remember how to put this on now. It screws in. 1 second, everybody. I know, Anne. It should be all right though. Should be all right. It's not on a high heat, but it needs, 30 minutes is enough. I think 35 minutes. Let me just check it. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. It's not browning just yet, but it's getting there. I don't think I'm going to be able to make this. I can't remember how to. I think it goes on like that, doesn't it? I think so. I'm going to make some fresh coffee. I need to just screw this back on. It won't be a moment, guys. Costa was opening in wonderful cafeteria near to my home in the highway, and I was always going drinking coffee there and command a tasty salad. Yes, yes, Jess. I love it. I was there a couple of weeks ago, actually. I think this part's come off, that's why. Can't get it on. 1 second, everyone. I've completely forgotten how to do this. Sorry, guys. I don't want to take too much of your time. No, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I'll figure out how to make. I'll just make a normal coffee. Sorry, everybody. But Costa is a nice blend to make. If you've got a... Oh, 1 second, actually. I think I've done it. I've done it, guys. Oh no, that goes at the bottom. No, never mind. I'll do it another day. Sorry about that, guys. But I do love my coffee. Let's make a normal coffee instead. Put the butter away, otherwise it'll melt. And we'll take the crumble out and then we'll start to taste it. No, I thought I hadn't done it properly. I think it was like the cover on the bottom. It had come off. This is why everybody, if you're watching me and you're new watching me, subscribe, because anything can happen in my periscopes, in my scopes. So we'll make a quick coffee though instead. Quick filter coffee. I'd normally have I do have a coffee machine, but it's quite poorly at the moment. It needs some loving, tender care. Right. Some milk in. Let me lift you back up. Let's warm through this custard. 1 second. How's the signal? Is it okay? Melody's laughing. Oh, let me bring you forward again. Hopefully we're all right now. Right, let's put this custard on. And then we'll have a little taste, because this is what we come for. This is the big reveal. Give this milk a shake. Cheers, everybody. Here's your coffee. The piece with the nut that screws to the post goes to the bottom, and then the screen, then the metal piece with the round. Thank you, Islam. Is it Islam or Slam? Admiral Slam. I shall. I'll watch this back and I will fix it, and then next time we will have fresh coffee. So, right, cheers everybody. We'll have a quick drink. Cheers everybody, and cheers to everybody who's taking part in the dessert Saturday. And cheers, well done Emmy this morning. It was amazing. Oh, don't you just love the first drink of coffee? I'm like you, Alexis. First drink of coffee is the best. So that's heating up. Shall we take out the crumble? I think it's time to take out the crumble. Oh yeah, we're going to take a little piece and then I can put the rest in the oven. Oh my word. Oh my god, look at this everyone. This is the crumble. Just check it's cooked on the... That looks nice. Right, I'm going to spin you around again. Look at this everyone. Are you ready? Oh, this is going to be the best thing ever. Are you ready then everyone? I think it's been in long enough. And if not, I can put it always back in the oven for a bit. So, are you ready? We're going to take our first piece. Can you all see this? Should we go from there? Ah. This is the crumble, everybody. Look at that. Oh. Let's take another bit of piece. So we've got apples in here. We've got rhubarb. You want to see some of the rhubarb. Let's get a big piece of rhubarb on the top. That's what you want to see. So this is the rhubarb crumble. I'm going to put that back in the this back in the oven a second. Let me just, because it needs to cook a little bit longer, but I'm sure it tastes fine. Until it goes a light brown colour. Okay, so this is our crumble. Call it a fruit cobbler. Let me just taste the custard, because we're going to add custard now onto this. Yeah, that custard needs a bit of warming up, but I'm going to just put it on for show. Because how long have we got? We've got 5 minutes, and then Alexis is going to come live. Okay, so let me just get a spoon. Oh, this is just the best. So just mix it up. So we're going to put some custard on here now. Look at this. A Yorkshire classic. A bit more. And we're going to have a little taste of this. So this is it then. This is it, everybody. Yep, this is rhubarb and apple crumble. Yorkshire rhubarb with apple crumble with custard on the side. So yeah, this is a proper pudding. I'm going to lift you back up. Should we have a taste? Here we go. There you go, you can see it now. Let's get a spoon. Let's have a little taste of this, guys. Your rhubarb brings all the boys to the yard. They certainly do, Dave, Captain Rehab. So let's have a little taste of this then. Cheers, everybody. Oh, I feel like I'm 12 again. This is so gorgeous. This is delicious. This is absolutely gorgeous. The crumble's perfect. It's not overcooked. I might have to turn the oven off, actually. This is so nice, everybody. Cheers, everybody. Go and make this. If you can get the ingredients, make this. Because I've not had this in about... This reminds me of being back when I was growing up. And I used to go to like my grandma's for lunch, you know, for dinner, for lunch. And this is what we would eat. But it wouldn't always be fresh. It would be out of a sort of some like these meal packs, dessert meal packs. So I think next time I'm going to be doing... I might have to do a few more desserts on here, but it's not going to go very well with the diet. But it will be worth it. Yorkshire rhubarb, everybody, give it a try. You could make it gluten-free, Melanie. I'd love to see that. Definitely do that next week, or when you can. This is so nice. You know, when you just have that taste in your mouth and it just reminds you of your childhood. It's like, yeah, it's just so nice. Right, everybody, I think I'm going to end it there. thank you for watching. We're now going to head over to Alexis. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. You want to see the image, don't you? I'll leave you with the image of the crumble. Hopefully you might not see that at the end, but I'll take this back out. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've learned something today. Let me switch your camera around. I'll unplug you from my phone. So I'll switch the camera around. Look how long my hair is. So thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. Good luck with everybody doing the dessert day.